Hey, so what's up, guys? It's your main man, Kid Frizz, Mr. Fix It. It is a wonderful day here in Texas. Not too hot at all, about 80 degrees. But today, I am working on a 2008 Nissan Altima. And had problems with the engine running, and it came up with codes 420, 302, and a code PO 300. All of them are POs, so PO 420, PO 302, and PO 300. And it came out to be a misfire. And one of the codes came out to be a sensor, bank one sensor, I believe. But before I even attempt to fool with the sensor, I'm going to change the spark plugs and the coil pack on this engine here. And I purchased the V Plus ignition coil and spark plugs. So my first time using this brand, I'm going to give it a try. And about a couple of weeks or a month later, I will do another video to let you know how it is performing. So these are the plugs, V Plus plugs. I believe they came pre-gap, but I checked the gap anyway to make sure, and I set it to 44 thousandths on the gap. Okay. So these are some of the tools you're gonna need. I use my star socket to pull the cover off. I've already have that all dismounted. That was the screw, the bolt that came off the Nissan cover. I have it laying down in the garage. So you'll have three of those. I've already removed the spark plugs. So now what I'm doing, I'm getting ready to insert the spark plug. So I'm going to use this anti-seize lubricant. That way your spark plug won't get stuck to your head once it's time to change these spark plugs again. That'll keep it from getting stuck to your head. So the anti-seize is very important, so you don't run into any problems down the road. So basically, once you install the spark plugs, the anti-seize makes it easier for you to remove the spark plug when it's time for you to change them again. So make sure you use this. It's better safe than sorry. So I have some here on this spark plug. Get it on all the threads. Sorry about that. Sometimes I forget I'm filming. So I'm gonna get it here, cover it, good coverage on the thread. Then I'll insert this plug. Okay, we're gonna do all 4 plugs like this. So let me go ahead and do all 4 plugs. Make the job go by much faster instead of doing one at a time. Same way on here, so you get the idea. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do car projects, home projects. You name it, I do it. That's why they call me Mr. Fix. It's just a nice, good coverage. Just like that. And we got one more to go. I'll do that one. Okay, you want to clean it off your gloves now, because once you put the spark plug in, you don't want to get it on the top of the spark plug where it is used to fire. So you don't want anti-seize on top of that spark plug there. Okay. One trick I use, I tear off a piece of this paper towel to make sure the spark plug holds into the socket. So I sit that in there like that and put the spark plug in. Make sure it holds. It won't fall out. That way you don't cross thread it in here. Get it started. Just like that. Hand tighten it because I'm going to torque it down. Just good hand tight is good. Just like that. Look in there, make sure it's set right. It is. So once again, the same thing with the next spark plug. You'll find out that trick works pretty good. Keeps the spark plug from falling out. Go in there, hand tighten it, make sure you don't cross thread it. The V plus ignition coil and spark plugs I purchased off of Amazon. I will have that information in the description box. So check the description and you should have that information. Yeah, so you want to avoid trying to get any of that anti-seize lubricant on the top of your sparking area. So make sure you avoid that. You don't want any problems with, once you replace this stuff, you don't want any problems out of you still having misfire because of that anti-seize. Okay, this is plug number 3. We're gonna go in here the same way. Just like that. And I'm using a 14mm socket. And it looks like later on I'm going to have to do a valve cover change on this vehicle. Okay, that's number 4. Then I'll check it. Okay, they are all seated perfectly. They're all gapped at 44 thousandths. Now I'll show you the old plugs. They look pretty beat on. These are Bosch plugs here. See, they look pretty beat up and worn. So it was probably more than likely time to change them. I'm sure they wasn't firing good. That one is really black. Okay. Now your installation instructions is going to ask you if you have a flat seat or a tapered seat. So on this particular car, it's a flat seat. The way you know is that it has this washer here on the end, and it's flat. So it's flat, it's not tapered. So on the flat seat, the recommended torque is 25 to 30 pounds, 25 to 30 for the 14mm, and these are 14mm plugs. Okay, so we're gonna do we're gonna do 25. I don't want to overdo it. So this is my torque wrench. I'm gonna set it to 44. And I'll let you know as soon as I get it set. So these are your marks here. See that? So we're gonna go somewhere up in here and set it to 25. So that'll be 25, because that's a 4, then that's the 5 right in between that 30 and that 10. So that's 25 pounds of torque. Then I will lock it down here. Hopefully you can see that. So the mark here is 5, so I put it in between the 30 and the 10, so that's 25 pounds of torque. I'm gonna have to purchase me a smaller torque wrench. This one is for bigger jobs than this. Not for this particular job, but it will still work. I would just like to have a smaller one. So once you torque it down, you will hear it begin to click. That lets you know that you have enough torque on there. So I begin to turn because I just hand tighten them down. Yeah. Make sure it don't move. Okay. There you go. You hear the click right there. That lets you know you have enough torque on it. So 25 pounds of torque. Right there. Okay. Same way for this one. Right there. Same way for number 4. Right there, you hear it? Okay, that's 25 pounds. Okay. Most of your instructions will be on the back of your spark plug box. If not, you can always Google your car specifications and find out the torque specification for your spark plugs. That way you will have the correct information. Okay, so I have those ends seated and torqued down to 25 pounds. I think 25 pounds would be sufficient enough. This is my ignition coil, the brand new one. So once I get these changed out, I believe the car is going to run very good. So you just insert these in on top, just like that. You have your bolt hole lines up with this bolt hole. Push it down, just like that. Then insert your bolt that holds your ignition coil down. I have my phone on a tripod. Hope you all can see this well. So that's number 1. We'll just get them started by hand, and then we'll tighten them down later. This number 2. It seats right on top. Just like that. Get this one started. And you don't have to worry about any anti-siege on these ignition coils. You won't have any problem with the bolt getting overheated and stuck in the bolt hole. So you don't have to worry about the anti-siege on that. Okay, 2 more to go. V+, and these are made in China. So we'll see how they work. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about the the code 420, I believe it was, that gave me a bank 1 sensor, because sometimes if you having misfire from your plugs or your ignition coil, it can cause other codes to give you a notification also. So what I try to do is take care of the smallest problem at hand and work my way up, because if you go in and change everything that every code is giving you, you might be spending too much money than you actually need to, because one code can make another code go off. So kind of keep that in mind. So what I'm doing, changing my spark plugs in my ignition coil, and this could very well make the code P0420, which was for the bank 1 sensor, go off. I hope you all understand that. So one code can actually make another code go off, which there may not even be a problem with the bank 1 sensor, is what I'm trying to say. By replacing this, it might take care of everything, then there will be no more codes on the vehicle. So always kind of start with some of the basic jobs if you have multiple codes, and then work your way up. So this had a screw in there, so I'm gonna still use that. It still works. Use this screw that was in there. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and tighten these down. I believe that's a 10 millimeter. Let me grab my 10 millimeter socket. Okay, I got my 10 millimeter socket. Yeah, 10 millimeter. It's what the ignition coil bolts are. So we'll tighten this down. You don't have to overdo it, because you don't want to break this plastic. So just get it snug. You don't want to overdo it and break your ignition coil. You'll be buying another one. Just kind of snug down, good. Get this one snug down, good. And then this was a Phillips, so let me get a Phillips. Okay, on your particular vehicle, you won't have a Phillips here. Someone just messed up the bolt here and added a Phillips here to not lock down the ignition coil. However, it still works. That someone may have been me, I don't know. I don't remember. But I'll take the blame for it. Now you want to connect your ignition coil connectors. Kind of give it a quick inspection. Make sure the inserts nice and clean and good. Push it in till it click. Same way here. Push it in till you hear it click. Like so. Okay. Same way here. Okay. Dang, that one looks nice. Same way for here. Get it. Push it in. Okay. So now we have the spark plugs in. Double check here. Make sure everything nice and snug. I always like to kind of double check my work. Nice and snug. And this one here. Yeah, nice and snug. And this here. There you have it. Now I'm gonna put the cover back over here. But being in here, I noticed that I may have to change the valve cover gasket. That's later on down the road. So let me put the cover on it. Okay, this is the cover. Just line it up. You have three bolts here. So the same way I'm putting it on is the same way you'll take it off. And these are the star bolts, okay? So I'm using a star socket to take it off. This is a T30 star socket. Just like that. And stay tuned to my channel, guys. I'm make another video in a couple of weeks to let you know how the car is running and did this knock out every code. So you will have another video on this same particular job coming soon. Okay. Get it started by hand first. And then we'll tighten down. Snug that down. And just snug that down. And there you have it. That's how you change the ignition coil and the spark plugs on a 2008 Nissan Altima. And this is a 2.5S. 2.5S. Using the V Plus ignition coil and spark plugs. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. As I said, this is my first time trying this product. You can find it on Amazon. Okay, so there you have it. Thanks for watching. Once again, it's your main man, Kid Frizz, Mr. Fix It.